And to begin, to give you an NBA comparison and the player we're kind of talking about here, I'd compare him to Luke Kornet, a current member of the Boston Celtics and a guy that does resemble him in many ways in my opinion. First and foremost, their height and length, Luke Kornet being 7'2", Rocco Zikarsky being 7'3", having a similar wingspan and even a similar frame and overall weight even. They're pretty similar from an overall measurement and intangible standpoint too. Even apart from that, do have a fairly similar skill set, even entering the NBA, with many pegging Luke Kornet as a potential floor spacing big, which he did show for a little bit in his NBA career, being above average athletically for his height and not simply being reliant on drop coverage or being attached to the rim directly. That's something that Luke Kornet has shown and does continue to show in the NBA, which might be a translatable comparison to Rocco Zikarsky. And then for his overall game, we're going to go through 3 different strengths and weaknesses for him to kind of give you a better picture of what he might be able to offer or might not be able to offer at the NBA level. And beginning with his strength, I definitely say rim protection for him. Obviously the height and length help him out here. Being 7'3" with a 7'4" wingspan and decent athletic ability, that makes him a pretty solid rim protector. I mean, if you try to attack him directly, it's probably not going to work out for you. Obviously has the height and length advantage and definitely does know how to block a shot or two. During his time in the NBL, he blocked 3.4 shots per 36-minute average, pretty good and above average even for a center, though he did commit 4 fouls per 36 minutes while doing it. So is a good shot blocker, but does have to work on his timing and overall guessing game a little bit at the rim. Can't be baited into fouls, as that definitely will be more difficult at the NBA level. But apart from that, does recover well around the rim, isn't purely reliant on drop coverage, albeit not the most athletic big overall and definitely not laterally, but he does move north to south pretty well, and we'll talk about that more in a bit here. However, will that translate to the NBA level? Maybe, maybe not. I guess we'll have to see more of that, but during his time in the NBL, and given that he's only 18 and continuing to not only get better but potentially even more athletic, I think rim protection is and will continue to be a strength for him. But then moving into a weakness, and like I kind of talked about there, that does happen to be lateral mobility. Is a good north to south athlete for his size, but is a bit stiff laterally. Doesn't move that well side to side. When he gets brought out to the perimeter and trying to match up or switch onto ball handlers, it often doesn't go that well for him. Like I said, he can recover well around the rim using his linear athletic ability, but when it comes to lateral mobility and actually getting down into a defensive stance, Rocco Zikarsky is not that great. And simply put, that could and likely will be a problem for him at the NBA level. I mean, with all the switching and different kind of defensive scheme that rely on big men being able to move their feet side to side, Rocco Zikarsky might not be able to do it, which will likely lead to him becoming a target on defense, guards trying to attack him and pick him apart in pick and roll plays, him trying to sink into drop coverage, but that's not going to work against every team and against every opponent. They definitely will pick on him. And well, that's gotta be reason number 1 for why he's not a projected first round draft pick. I've seen many asking and wondering about why he's not, even with his height, length, and athletic ability at his size, and well, this is definitely it. If you can't move your feet and defend the perimeter even at 7'3", then you're probably not going to be very reliant and not going to be a first round draft pick in the modern NBA. However, the good thing here is that, like I said, he is only 18, which does give him time to become a better side-to-side athlete and simply a better athlete in general. And if we compare him to a guy like Luke Kornet, which I already did, I'd say that Luke Kornet's become a better athlete and better at moving side to side throughout his career. So hope is definitely not lost here for Rocco Zikarsky. With all of that being said though, what do you guys think? How do you feel about Rocco Zikarsky, and if he would be a good draft target for a team like the Lakers? Is he what they need? Is he too raw yet? And would you either take him or pass up on him? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But I think that'll pretty much do it for this one. And if you enjoyed the video, then I'll greatly appreciate it if you dropped a like, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and hit that notification bell to never miss out when I upload a video. But as always, thank you for watching and have a great day or night.